growing up because my mind's kind of going blank. It's just, I'm gonna miss my grandpa, and he's always gonna be a part of my heart.
What up? Before I talk about what I have sketched compared to what I had earlier, during the good times, the rough times, confusing times, the wisdom and patience that came out of Dad. There's no words to explain it. He would want us all to come together, to be there for one another, to be strong, to smile, and don't kill bugs.
Sorry, they didn't hurt you. They're not hurting anything.
I started working with my dad when I was only 8 days old. Until a few months after I turned 8. Dad would take me to every job site, weather permitting. If I wasn't there, I was at Nana and Nacho's house. I was always Dad's little helper, even when I was 24 years old, the last time I worked with him. I became friends with everyone who Dad worked with. And that's why I learned to never be a stranger. And now I've learned that everyone's not a friend, everyone is family. I learned so much from my dad. How to dig holes with my hands, or how to use my body weight to make a shovel easier. To play in the mud, the snow, or rain. I learned what tools are, what they are used in a conventional way, and how to use them in an unconventional way. I learned that spiders, bugs, and worms are all my friends. And to look out to know which bad spiders, what bad spiders are, and snakes. I learned that most germs are healthy, to eat dirt. How we as humans work with and affect our planet's ecosystem. How to respect somebody's yard, and when in somebody's home, to respect it as well. I learned to mow. I think we all learned to mow, by the way. But how some of my siblings said, to start a fire, change a tire, fish, and make compost tea. How to play chess, and know how to run a pool table. But the biggest thing I learned was that the world does not revolve around me or us. We are a minuscule speck on this massively big rock that we call Earth. I learned about different cultures and the way that our life here in small Amarillo is different than anywhere else around the world. I learned to keep my mind open to other cultures, types of people, beliefs, and ways of life. I learned how to imagine crazy things, like what it's like to be that bee flying around and searching for honey. Or wonder how birds, butterflies, and whales migrate around without GPS. I learned to be open to endless curiosities, to always ask a question. Why? Where did that come from? How does that work? One time, I talked Dad into tying a rope to the back of his truck and pull me on the sled. Boy, it was a mistake. Back where my Nana and Nachos lived, there was this hill. And I don't think either one of us thought about it. If he turned right, then I got swung. And I landed a foot away from the house on the corner. And he got out and he was crying. I was laughing with tears of joy, but my tailbone hurt. It hurt. I told him I never wanted to do that again. Like Soraya was saying, very young, yeah, 8 or 9 years old, Dad worked at Mariposa on the west side of the loop. This is where Dad taught me to drive. First time, it was Dad, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he threw me the truck keys. I'm like, really? You're gonna let me do this? And he's like, I trust you. And it's about a mile up the hill and around the mountain. Okay. That time I listened to what, don't go this way, don't do donuts. But every time after that, he knew I was doing donuts. He knew I was exploring how to drive around the ridges and the rifts of the eroded side of the little hill. It's the campsite that was down there. I think as most teenage girls, or teenagers period, I disconnected for a while from Dad. I wonder about how many things I missed out on learning. The questions I had. But as a young adult, out of the house, with a massive world that I couldn't understand, he helped me break down my emotions, my thoughts. I told him everything, asked him about everything. And eventually, after I got done asking about myself and my own understandings, I tried to pick his brain to understand him, what it was like to travel, what it was like as a kid, what are other cultures like. What is his view on the world? And being old enough to pay attention and care about what he was saying and how he felt. This brought us so much closer. I fell asleep at 3:30 in the morning, so I didn't finish that. But when I was really young, Dad's grandfather, Nacho, or my grandfather, Dad's dad, Nacho, passed away. I've always had so many questions to ask Nacho about his education, about how it was for him growing up.
She wants you to hold her too at the same time.
Come here.
There we go.
You're a little lighter.
What's that about?
show, this little girl is gonna have the same about her grandfather. He taught me so much. How to love, how to care, how to not take people's human responses personally. How to have an imagination, to be creative, and ultimately, love bugs. People, trees, the wind, we are all connected on a molecular level. And if everyone knows about his beliefs in the cosmos, about the universe, he'd always say that we came from a speck and we will return in the same way, that we are all part of a big circle of life. No, beautiful. I just want to thank everyone for coming today, gathering in honor of Dad, celebrating the life he had that was